It's another day, Monday. Jim, what are you wearing? Oh, I'm just getting done with work. Sun setting here, as you can tell. What are these? These are my white privilege cufflinks. I wear these all day. It's a sign of my privilege. That way everybody knows who exactly they're dealing with. Like I told you in some of the previous videos, we're going to tackle the subjects nobody else wants to talk about. You know, one that's really been burning me up lately. And I mean, everybody's avoiding it like the plague, the media, everybody. It comes down to it, I don't understand why they're avoiding it. This is a scourge, it's an epidemic, it's something that should be handled. I'm just going to put it out there. You know, today I want to talk a little bit about educators. Not to say there isn't some great educators out there. I have quite a few in my family, as well as a couple in my life that were influential. Still have very fond memories, helped steer me in the right direction. I remember one in particular, Mr. Ghani, picking me up by the backside and kicking me all the way down the hill, you know, because I was out of line. I had it coming. You didn't go home and complain to your parents back in those days that an educator raised a hand to you or said something off color to you or screamed at you. I was afraid to go home and say something because my dad would have gave it to me worse, because I would have had it coming. I showed lack of respect. But, you know, of all the issues going on right now in the world, this one is something that's, I think, is creeping up and is going to just blow up at some point. And what it is what, I don't know if any of you are aware or you've been following the news at all. Female educators having sex with our children. I mean, first of all, why didn't this go on when I was in school? Okay? I'm just asking. I'm asking the question every other guy wants to know. I mean, but really, what is going on here? I mean, there's been 9 in my state alone in the last year. 9 of them. And I believe, I could be mistaken here, but I think as far as everything I read, it's all female, middle-aged educators having sex with children. In fact, the last one was a 28-year-old, I believe, that was having sex. Well, not a full-blown sexual relationship, but some pretty inappropriate touching going on with an 11-year-old. 11 years old. My God. You know, and I think that I'm so shocked and dismayed and aggravated by this situation for one reason. Men, this has always gone on in the world, and to the end of time, this is going to go on. Men we expect it out of. Men are pigs. You know, I've said in the past, you know, men are a different creature. We're closer to the animal kingdom than we are women. Women are the more refined. You know, they don't act as impulsively. Men's sexual drive is out of control a lot of times. So, I mean, not that it justifies it in any shape or form. In fact, outright condemnation for anybody who's going to have sex with a child, period. But with men, you could see it happening, and it's happened for many, many years. But this explosion of women having sex with their students. I mean, what is the draw there? I mean, was there an educational conference and you guys got together with the clergy and said, hey, you guys aren't, you know, keeping up. We're gonna try to give you a run for your money here. I mean, really, what is the deal? I mean, 26 years old, 11-year-old boy. Now, that may be an extreme case. In a lot of these cases, it's, you know, a 15, 16-year-old boy and a 25, 31, 28, you know, year old woman. And most of these women are attractive. I'm not gonna pretend that looks don't matter, because I don't think we live in that reality. Looks absolutely matter. So why that matters is because these women have options. You know, it's not like they can't find a date, for God's sakes. I mean, I just, to me, something needs to be said and something needs to be done. I mean, if you look at it statistically, they are upending the whole statistical realm of what's gone on in the past. I mean, they're literally, if this rate continues, they're going to surpass men as the predators within the school system. And I mean, at a shockingly fast rate. This isn't going to be a gradual persuasion or a gradual shift. This is happening at the speed of light. And that's why I don't understand how more people aren't talking about it. I mean, what is the emotional lack? What is the psychological issue that's going on here? I just, like I said, I could see if these people were unattractive or if that even played a role. But there's some sick people out there. And like I said, I don't want to take anything away from 99.9% of our educators out there, because they do a good job with very little. But educators are always the first to complain. We need more money. We need this. We need that. Oh, we're not making enough. If I was in the private sector, shut up. Suck it up. You work 9 months out of the year. You choose to work with children. And if you were going for money, you wouldn't be in that field, because it's never traditionally been shown that you're going to make a ton of money teaching kids things. And that's why it is a labor of love, and we respect the hell out of you for doing it. But ladies and teachers, you need to check yourself before you wreck yourself. This is getting out of hand. I mean, like I said, we had 9 in our state alone. And part of the real aggravation that boils down for me is, until these people are proven in a court of law, that they did something wrong, these people are paid suspension 99% of the time. That's just how the teachers union works. So this woman goes and has sex with a child, and she's suspended for sometimes up to 2-3 years before the case ever comes to court. And the whole time she's collecting taxpayer dollars, which she doesn't have to give back. Now, personally, I think there needs to be a law passed. I'm all for this, that if you are implicated in something like this, because you're not going to be suspended unless there is, a pretty good amount of evidence in order for you to get suspended. I mean, their unions are so strong, a suspension won't happen. A suspension is basically an admission of guilt by the school system. And yet we're keeping them on the payroll. Now, imagine in your job, if you went out and took advantage of somebody, and then you got a suspension for 2 or 3 years while it all got sorted out, but you're collecting that paycheck irregardless. To me, that's insanity in and of itself. I guess the second reason I'm so upset is because there's no challenge there. I mean, my God, you're having sex with teenage boys. How hard is it to have sex with a teenage boy? That's literally like taking candy from a baby. Literally, you're shooting fish in a barrel. Having sex with a teenage boy is like asking the fat kid if he wants the last piece of chocolate cake. It's like asking your Asian coworker if they know calculus. It's like asking the fat Italian guy, i.e. me, if he likes pasta. I mean, how? Why? What's the draw? I mean, it's literally like asking Kim Jong-un if he wants to fire another rocket. I might as well go in and ask my 10-year-old if he wants candy for supper. It's so ridiculous. I'm going to go ask my alcoholic friend if he wants to have a drink. I mean, having sex with a teenage boy, talking to a teenage boy into having sex, is like asking a redneck if he'd date his sister. What happened to the more selective of the species? The more less impulsive and more thought out and emotionally connected person. And the crazy part is, I've heard a lot of arguments from females on this. Well, there must have been an emotional connection there. They worked hand in hand. It's so funny, because if it was a man, the first thing out of a woman's mouth would be, oh my God, he's a pig. Just another oppressive man. Totally agree. Totally freaking agree. Well, I'm sorry. It's the same with these ladies. It's the exact same. And whether you want to admit it or not, you have a serious predator problem going on inside our school systems across the United States, and nobody's talking about it. In fact, they're getting less jail time than the male counterparts that would commit the same crime. Huh? Is that equality? I don't think that's equality. I think it's sick. You know why? Because in a man's mind, we can, is he a victim? Because that judge puts himself back to when he was a teenager, okay? And I do too. I mean, it's like, what the hell is going on here? So, I mean, I just thought I'd bring it to your attention. And my opinion doesn't mean anything any more than any one of yours. So, I mean, feel free to weigh in on this subject. But I just want to let you know, ladies, female educators, predators, possible predators out there, we will be going undercover in these school systems. I've got a backpack. I mean, I got notes, I got pencils, you know, I got weigh my hair down a little bit longer so I look like a child, but I'm going to do my part to help catch you predators. This is getting out of hand.